Hi and welcome back to our channel. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone for responses and all the messages I'm receiving. Yes, I know there's a lot of things to talk about, and we will get to all of those topics systematically. In our previous video, we spoke about the two parts, one being the tribal senate that we need to create, but the first part to it was a referendum, and today I want to focus on the first part, as this will be the first step for us, is to call out a national referendum. Why is a national referendum very, very important? Firstly, is we want to know from you, the citizens of South Africa, what is your feelings, what is your inputs when it comes to various topics. And by a referendum, we can have a draft document to give to the new leaders and say, listen, this is the feeling and this is what the citizens of South Africa want to be implemented. So I'm going to run through a possible list, this is not cast in stone, of topics that will be on the referendum and where you, the citizens, need to give guidance or how the punishment should be for these crimes. Not just for crimes, but on other topics that need to be explained on a very broad and open base. And all media platforms will be made available for this to be discussed. Open platforms where specialists, people from these organizations will have the opportunity to represent and to explain to you, the citizens, what these organizations are doing, so that you can be educated and understand if decisions are made via the Senate or via the government with respect to these various organizations, who and what they are. What is the influence when it comes to our government, which is very, very important. Right, so what the first thing we're going to ask you is we're going to tackle the elements of crime. And this is something that is dear to all our hearts. The first thing I want to read to you is an extract of a finding by Judge Friedman. Now this is available on the internet. You can look at Lexis Library and you can find this finding by Judge Friedman. And I want you to listen to this very, very important judgment or finding that was given by Judge Friedman. And this is in reference to the turmoil that happened at Eskom. So I'm going to read it for you. So once again, I apologize for not having eye contact with you, but for me, I need to read it at the end of the day. Right. The crippling of our country's power grid after recent turmoil at Eskom, coupled with businessmen allegedly directing the appointment of government ministers, has been termed treason by some. According to the Index of South African Criminal Case 1910-2018, the leading authority on treason is S, or the state, versus Banda and others. This case was brought forward in a 1990 trial. So let's see what is the relevant findings by Judge Friedman. He states that treason can be committed in times of peace as well as in time of war. The key element is hostile intent, which includes unlawfully impairing or endangering the existence, independence, or security of the state. That's a lot of big words. Motive of serving an enemy country or seditious group is not required. Greed can be the motive as well. Now I think Judge Friedman opened a can of worms here that a lot of people hoped would stay closed forever. The direct intention to undermine or sabotage the state is not required. So this can be a criminal intent as motive. I'm not going to elaborate around that. You know the full story. Furthermore, hostile intent is proven if the perpetrator knew by dolus directus or indirectus or individualis that by striving to fulfill his aim, he would impair or endanger the existence, independence or security of the government. Now this is a serious finding, and it is really something we as the citizens need to look up when it comes to treason and what the relevant or adequate punishment will be for it. So let's get back to the general referendum. As I said to you before, there will be a lot of debate. Everyone will be given the opportunity to state their case, whether it's religious leaders or representatives of all these various organizations, social leaders. Everybody will give or will have opportunity to come and debate on an open platform the pros and cons, for and against, and when it comes to the punishment for these crimes. So this is just a rough sketch of what the idea behind it is. So we will ask, what is the required punishment? For example, maximum 15 years, 25 years, life, or in some cases the death penalty. This is you, the citizens, that will make the cross behind that, telling our court systems what the penalty should be for these crimes committed. Now, what crimes are we talking about? This is crimes that is ripping South Africa apart. Crime number 1, murder. Crime number 2, robbery. Crime number 3, rape. Number 4, pedophilia. 5, human trafficking. 6, terrorism in all its form, and this includes what I have just read, the finding by Judge Friedman, when it comes to this finding which I have read to you, sabotage. It can fall in that same category. Number 7, drugs, corruption. Then something that will be debated or hard be debated, and I believe this is going to create a big turmoil, is we will ask, as the presidents of this country, President Mbeki, Mokhlante, Zuma, and Ramaphosa, the current president, as head of the office of president, they also head of the defense, head of the army. And one must remember that when it comes to all these crimes, sabotage, all these corruption allegations that was made, we will ask that these specific individuals and those implicated in government being part of this not be trialed in civilian courts, but be trialed in a military tribunal as being head of the state, because this is some serious allegations that will be brought to them and they need to explain. Just in broader perspective, we've had the Zondo Commission, and how many parliamentarians or politicians has been arrested so far? None. This is a clear indication to you that, and I can say this with open heart, that our state has been captured, our police has been captured, and our judicial system has been captured. We cannot go forward as a country with all of these departments captured. It is time to turn around, and the only people that can turn it around is the tribals. Very, very important. Right, then we're going to ask, this is not for punishment, for these people to come forward and explain to us, the citizens, what is their end goal, what is their motive, what do they want to achieve in our communities. And the first people we want to put on is the LGBTQ plus movement. They must come and explain to us, what do they want? Where do they want to head this? So that you, the citizens, can understand and, if need be, intervene. And if it is your will, restrict them or give them permission to spread their message. This is in your hands, not one or two individuals. It will be a collaborative judgment. This is what is going to be allowed or not. Simple as that. The majority, the tribes have spoken, literally. Then the following people or groups must come and explain. Now, we read this in your newspapers, and I don't think the majority, or even 95 plus of the citizens in South Africa, understand what these groups are for. What do they represent? What structural advantages or disadvantages they can have to South Africa. And these groups, organizations that will need to come forward, and once again it will be heavily debated, pros and cons, will be as follows. Firstly, the World Economic Forum, WHO, World Health Organization, the Cabal, Freemasonry, Jesuits, Illuminati, Broederbonders, and the New World Order. This list can grow as people would like to add more organizations to be added to this list to come and explain themselves. Explain to the citizens what and who you are. What is your goal? What do you want to achieve in our country? So that everybody can make a educated decision on the legitimacy of these various groups in South Africa, and to give a clear indication to government and the Senate whether to cooperate or not cooperate with these various institutions and organizations. The last one we would like to ask is the revival of Article 49 of the Criminal Procedure Act. Now, for those of you who don't know what Article 49 is, this is the use of force. This was changed back in 1995, if I'm not mistaken. And what it basically says is there's three parts to it. So I'm just going to give you the layman version to this. Is that you can use force. This is more reference to the use of, for example, a firearm, is to stop a person from hurting or killing someone else. This is as the law states today, that you can use him, you can use the force to stop him, or you can kill him, that is the B part to this, from hurting or killing someone else. The old Article 49 was more broadly that you can use the same amount of force, or the necessary force as it said, to stop someone from taking your property or someone else's property. So where Article 49 was scoped down to just life, it also includes property. This is something that needs to be debated on various legal grounds, and it is important that you also have the right to defend your property. At the end of the day, the three elements that hangs around absolute freedom is one, life, liberty, and property. That's the three elements freedom is built on. So this is some serious topics that needs to be debated and put forward to you as the citizens of Africa to make a decision on a referendum. Now in my next episode, I'm going to start talking about the structuring of the tribal senate, what we envision, and we're basically going to lay down the business plan from you. That will be on Monday. So I hope that all of you have a wonderful weekend, and for those of us that is going to go forward, tomorrow is going to be a very special day for us, and I hope that peace and love will fill your houses. For those people who have subscribed, thank you very, very much. For those of you who have not subscribed, please subscribe. So once again, the old little ritual I'm going to ask you very, very nicely is to firstly like our little program, our little channel here, because it helps with the algorithm and to spread the word. Please like it. Remember to share it to your friends, and ask them to like and subscribe as well. Very, very important. And that little bell on the side, that little icon, so that as the programs come out, that you will receive your notification that there is a new video out, a reminder. I thank you very, very much. For those of you who would like to help financial aid on this channel, you will find all the linkages. And remember, South Africa, our golden line, the golden thread to all of this is we should stop fighting each other. We should start fighting for each other. Thank you. Have a great weekend.